Traditional environmental knowledge. What is it? The definition, according to noted scientists, is ecological and cultural knowledge of the land, water, the wildlife. It also includes knowledge of natural environmental changes and cycles. Over many thousands of years, the people develop a relationship with the land they live on. Their understanding of their environment and resources becomes a part of everyday life. It becomes part of their culture. To the First Nations people, the bond to the land is very strong, and despite the effects of a quickly changing world, this bond is unbroken.
This is why the Indians were always aware the importance of the passing of time, and it's at every instant of our lives with one another. How do we respect one another? How can live with one another in harmony with nature? And this is what we're doing now. Sometimes we have to take some things from nature and tell nature, the spirit of nature, that we're going to use this. We're going to take it. He was given this right to take it, and we're going to use it for a healing purpose. This is what we do. Then we give it something. Even in ceremonies, we give the earth something.
Because we were taught to respect the Creator's creation and live in harmony with His creation. That was the teaching.
And we respect everything in the world, the trees, the rocks, and the birds of the air, the animals on the earth, and the mammals in the waters. Everything belongs to the Creator. Therefore, we have a lot of respect for these.
These are the words of the elders. It's their knowledge that many young people seek. Knowledge about the land and the many creatures that share it, about the environment.
We use the feathers of the birds of the air, the skins of the animals on the earth, and the skins of the animals in the water. Our belief, we believe in the heavens and on the earth.
According to the legends, Native Americans were created on this continent from the very land that we walk on. The land was the mother, and from her womb came the First Nations people. The sun, the moon, and all living things were created to share the land and the environment.
He put us here with the birds, the four-legged creatures, and all the creatures of the water, the sun and the Mother Earth, to share with them.
Like they were very careful that they kill animals at a certain time, a certain waiting period for them to grow. There are certain times they would, for any kind, animals, birds, ducks. This is one way they had to preserve and accept the Creator's creation, because they don't say my land or our land. They say this is God's land. That's why they call themselves the people of the land.
We never dig up anything in the earth without asking permission from the Creator and without making an offering of tobacco in the ground. And we don't just pick everything in one place. We leave something there so that it will grow again.
In a very spiritual sense, the earth is sacred and must be treated with respect, because life depends on it. This is the essence of traditional environmental knowledge, from a native perspective. With the coming of the spring, new life is given. Mother Earth sheds her winter coat, and green grass brings to life a sleeping land. This cycle goes on as it has done since the beginning. The First Nations culture and spirituality follows very much the cycles of nature. It is deeply rooted in the land.
I gathered the elders together in a meeting before we started our meal. The elder prayed with the berry from the berry soup. After he finished praying, he gave me the berry. He said, "Here, take this outside. You know what to do with it." I took the berry outside, and with my pocket knife, I made a hole in the ground. I held the berry in my hand and prayed. Then I buried it in the ground, making an offering to Mother Earth. They used to say, and the way I was taught to understand, when we make an offering of berries to Mother Earth, we pray for good health and that we will make it to the next spring, when we will see berries continue to grow.
Taking care of the environment is not a new concept to the Aboriginal people of North America. They have practiced it for centuries. In the case of the Plains Indian culture, the buffalo played a key role in their way of life, as did all the other creatures. The resources contained within their environment sustained them and was crucial to their existence. This is all too evident as we search into our past. Here at the Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump, located in the foothills of southern Alberta, we find evidence of Blackfoot occupation for 7,000 years. In other parts of the country, the other native tribes have also occupied their lands for centuries. A balance between man and nature was maintained, and coexistence with nature was achieved.
As for us native people, we try to live in harmony with it. What that means is that I have a kind life. I need to have that to survive in this world. I have traveled many miles, and I look at other people, other cultures, other people's way of life, how they survive, and it's all the same. We all breathe to that source. We all walk on the same earth. We all wake up to the same grandfather, Natus, the sun. And we all have that same hopes that Grandmother Moon will heal us overnight, like he does to all his creation. That's the environment that grows, that flies. It heals by itself. We as human beings have to learn how to relate again.
The environment is a very sensitive ecosystem, as the modern world is finding out. The story of how we are destroying our environment is an all too common one. Throughout the world, industrialization and a resource-hungry society is continually threatening the environment.
Today, these airplanes that are spraying pesticides are killing everything. There's nothing that is good anymore. An old man once told me, the only good water left is the mountain water that is flowing. Although the white people tried to treat the water by putting things into the water, it's still not good. Now the herbal medicines are being destroyed. Today, if you cut up the meat, you will find that it is unhealthy. It is infested with insects and diseases. The injections from needles and what they are fed, this is where they get these sicknesses from.
There's 3 billion people plus on the planet right now, and we're looking at doubling that just soon after the turn of the century here. If we don't start managing our resources in a responsible way, we will suffer the consequences.
Some First Nations people are taking action to find ways to help take care of our environment. The First Nations of Treaty 6, 7, and 8 have gathered here on the Blood Reserve at an environment conference.
We are the only people that can adequately adjust our lands, because we have that responsibility to ourselves to survive and adapt to our environment. But also we have that responsibility to look out for our brothers, the animals, the insects, the fish, and the birds, and the plants, rocks. These are all encompassed in our traditional knowledge and views. Today, the modern consumer society which we are forced to live in places a tremendous strain not only on our Mother Earth, but also on those very values and practices that have kept us in harmony with our natural environment since time immemorial.
One of the urgent matters on the agenda is traditional environmental knowledge.
Traditional knowledge should be an integral part and important component of all environmental assessments, which should play a comparable role in scientific, technical information and judgment.
How can we document this knowledge and apply it to this modern world? The words of the elders provide some guidance.
Our ways. Old people become more reliable, and they become more useful in their old age by counseling, advising, and sometimes spiritual advising, and a lot of things. And they become useful as storytellers. And today we still have these among our people.
The First Nations people have a great regard for environmental issues in modern times. This conference is only one of many that could take place as this modern society continues to swallow up its environment. They know they can't solve all the environmental problems the world faces, but some First Nations people are learning how to use the elders' knowledge in a modern society, and perhaps more importantly, passing it on to the future generations. Traditional environmental knowledge is a continuing process, passed down through the centuries. If this knowledge is to survive into the next century, the present generations are the ones who will do it.